And what is this bit then?
When a new process monitoring system is installed at a chemical company, it seems like a simple change for the better.
This level. Is that it?
But few of the employees realise how a change to their jobs, apparently as small scale as this, can have wider and damaging repercussions, if not managed in the right way.
Fine. And what is this bit then?
The pen plotter keeps a constant record 24 hours a day. So when you want to check the waste levels, all you do is check this level.
Is that it?
It's really straightforward.
Oh, you mean instead of having to come down here...
Come on, Errol. Everybody happy? Errol is. He's going to do the reading himself.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's what it's designed for, so anyone can take a reading.
Is that all there is to it? Just take a reading?
And recalibrate the gauge every 8 hours.
No problem.
It's worth thinking about.
Hang on. Don't you think we ought to discuss this amongst the supervisors first?
You know, it'd be quicker if we did it ourselves. And then if there was a problem, we'd know straight away.
Sounds interesting.
What about research? I mean, waste levels have always been their responsibility.
They'll be all right. The lab assistants always complain when it's raining anyway. I'll talk to May.
Come in.
Morning, Graham.
Morning, Peter. There's a lot of activity down at the discharge pipes. Is that the new monitoring kit?
Yep. Seems to have gone in pretty smoothly.
Good. When do we start seeing some results?
We've got someone from local radio coming round tomorrow. See us doing our bit for the environment.
I want that kit to pay for itself within 12 months.
Well, we should see waste disposal costs coming down.
Good. I was in Leatherhead on Monday. I've committed to saving 5% of our operating costs. Things don't stand still out there.
I know, but where? We're down to the bone.
I want you to look at all the options and get back to me by the end of the week.
Are we talking about redundancies here, or what?
Just review all the options.
Still here?
No, I'm just on phone. Just showing Sean and Malcolm how to use that new effluent monitoring gear.
Okay, is it?
Gets us out and about.
Yeah. I said we didn't need the lab assistants doing it.
Yeah, my mother was really impressed when I told her I'd be taking the effluent readings. But then she doesn't know what effluent means.
You know. Your people are still quite happy with it?
Mm-hmm. Saves them having to go down to the discharge pipes every couple of hours.
I think we'll make it permanent then. Yeah.
Fine.
Have you heard about Graham's 5%?
Did he jump or was he pushed?
He's a great jumper. You're going to cut down on numbers. Not really much else you can do in research, is there?
Don't know yet. I'll discuss it with my lot first, see if they come up with anything.
I tried to organise a discussion meeting once. 2 people turned up.
Can't have tried very hard.
You weren't there.
If they see it's important, and if you show them you really care about their ideas, they'll turn up.
With lab staff, maybe. But down in the plant, all they care about is picking up their payslip and going home.
There's no difference between people who work in the lab and people who work on the line. They're all interested in the same things.
Really?
Really.
Ah, Peter, did you get the message about the rush order for Franklin Colloids?
Yes, you're in luck. We're starting a new batch on the night shift.
Great. If we can show them we can deliver, this could lead on to some pretty big stuff.
No problem. They'll have them by the end of tomorrow.
Who's first up there? Capricorn. Capricorn. Are you with it?
do you mean it's over the limit?
They didn't calibrate it properly.
Who didn't?
I don't know, someone on the last shift. Look at the effluent levels, they're way over the top. There's been a breakthrough somewhere.
Run it into the auxiliary tanks.
I've checked already, they're full.
How long's it been like this?
There's no way of knowing. Could be a couple of hours. Could be the whole shift.
8 hours?
The stuff's going straight into the river.
We'll have to shut it down. I'll call Peter in.
Okay, let's not overreact. It was a one-off. There was a breakthrough, the auxiliary tanks were full, and Sean made a mistake when he recalibrated the monitor on the last shift.
You can't expect process ops to do a lab assistant's job.
I'm not blaming anyone. I've just got to make sure I've got all the answers.
Well, you know what I think.
I don't see what the problem is. It's just another bit of kit. There's always teething problems.
Sounds to me like the ops don't really understand how it works.
All they've got to do is take a reading.
These readings aren't just black and white. You have to know how to interpret them.
Why didn't you tell me this when we discussed it all?
You gave the impression you already knew.
We need proper training, don't we?
Look, I've got to get back. Someone's got to get this plant back online, and I'm the only one who knows what's going on.
What is his problem? I mean, it's only a new bit of kit.
To you, maybe. But you've got to move carefully if you want people to do something different.
What do you mean?
Look, it's easy enough to get people to do the same as they're already doing. A bit better, a bit faster, right?
Yeah?
But there's a big difference between doing the same thing differently and doing something completely different.
And you think this is something completely different?
They're having to work in a different way. I think that's a big change.
Just lost the whole shift. What the hell are you doing up here?
Frank, I'm trying to find out how the gear works. I thought that...
One of us has got to be down in the plant all the time. You knew I was in a meeting. All right. You see?
It's just a new piece of equipment. There's bound to be teething problems.
Teething problems? An entire shift down the plug hole? That's a hell of a problem.
Yes, I know. It was bad.
You're damned right.
It's nearly fixed now. It's just a one-off.
You can guarantee that?
We're giving the ops some extra training.
Who's going to pay for that? Don't forget we're looking for 5% cuts.
Yes, I'm onto that.
Well, this is a bad start. I'm relying on you to get this right.
Everything okay?
Great.
No more midnight panics.
No, it's great.
How about you, Malcolm? Any problems?
Seems okay.
Hello, Frank. Your lads are really getting on with that new gear.
What?
The effluent monitoring.
Effluent monitoring. That's all I ever hear these days.
It's not so terrible.
It's not so bloody marvellous either. You people forget we've got a job to do. All these things just get in the way.
But it's working now. And it's running well. And the ops have made it work. And they like that. You've done well, Frank. Take credit for it. This is the situation. We've got to find another 5% off our operating costs.
Oh, come off it. It was only 2 months ago that the boss was telling us how successful we are.
It's a board decision.
So you're talking about redundancies?
No, Errol. If I was thinking that, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you about it.
So what are you talking about then?
I want to hear your views. I think that what happened with the monitoring gear could point the way. That was basically the ops showing they would take responsibility, be more flexible. I think we could extend that into basic maintenance.
What?
Basic maintenance. Decontaminating valves, for instance?
That is skilled work.
Come on, Frank. We know how to clean the valves.
So, are you going to be laying maintenance people off?
No, I'm not. We've got vacancies we can't fill. If the ops would do the work, we can make the savings that way. What do you think?
We could do the reconfig between the batch runs.
Oh, yeah. Pigs could fly.
Come on, Frank. And then if we had a big order, we wouldn't have to wait a week. We could do it straight away.
Yeah, as long as we get paid for the extra work.
It's better than being laid off.
Look, we've got to keep the line running. If we don't do that, we might as well shut up shop.
We did it before. We made the effluent monitoring work. We can do it again.
Yeah, let me.
How'd your big meeting go this morning?
There were some good ideas coming out. Some opposition,
Frank?
mainly.
Not surprising, really. You've got to be careful when you're dealing with people's feelings.
Feelings? We're talking about how we run the plant. It's not a love affair or dying for your country. It's a job of work.
Really? What about if I came to you and said you'd have to start clocking on and off like the ops?
What?
You'd object. There's nothing wrong with clocking on and off. The ops have to do it every day, but I bet you'd object.
I don't see what this has to do with anything.
Because your objections wouldn't be rational. What you'd actually be worrying about is how clocking on and off would reflect on your authority and status and things like that. Feelings.
So how would you handle all this?
Start off by making sure everyone sees how important it all is. Generate lots of enthusiasm. And have you got Graham behind you yet?
No, I'm going to put something down on paper for him.
Make sure everyone sees he's backing the project. It shows them all how important it is if the boss is backing it.
I'm giving him his 5%. Of course he'll support it.
Yeah, I like it. Numbers look very good. 10% reduction in stock holding as well. Question is, do you think it'll work?
Yes, and so do the ops. They came up with most of the ideas. Good. There is just one thing. It'd really help if you could give your official support to the plan.
You got it.
Some kind of public commitment. Explain why we're doing it.
Okay. If you want to write something for the newsletter, I'll put my name to it.
Fine, but could you come to a couple of meetings as well?
Well, I'm rather busy at the moment. I'm sure you can handle it.
No, it's more than just that. It'd help convince everyone how important the project is if you show a positive interest.
I'm sorry, I just can't spare the time at the moment. Keep me posted.
Did you decontaminate the valves properly?
That's what I'm telling you. I didn't do the valves. I just flushed the lines.
Snowy did the lines. What, you mean no one's done the valves?
I have no clue.
A whole morning we've wasted on maintenance. If the fitters had done it, we'd be up and running by now.
You're being unreasonable. Of course there's going to be a few problems the first time or two.
What about our targets?
Once they've got the hang of it, they'll make up the difference.
With a bloody production department, it's not our job to make sure the equipment works. Our job is to meet production targets.
Peter, I've just been telling Mike Holdsworth we can bring his delivery forward to Friday, and I get back and find we've just lost half a shift. What the hell's going on?
You can't go making promises to customers like that without talking to me first.
The Franklin business depends on guaranteed delivery.
If you checked with me, I could have told you. We can't do it at the moment.
Peter, we can't run a business like this. Nothing is more important than filling customers' orders.
Frank?
Busy.
No, it's all right. Come in.
Saw the light on. About this morning, I was out of order.
Forget it. Things were getting pretty hairy anyway.
I've been here for 20 years. I don't recognise the place anymore.
Well, we can't stand still, you know.
But we were doing fine. We were bang on target every month. Why go upsetting everything?
Because if we don't, someone else will.
Don't understand what that means.
We've got to make our targets better. If we don't, Our competitors will. And that means change.
I don't know where that leaves me.
You're part of the team, Frank. You're one of the people who made this place what it is. You remember the move from the old building? Believe me, in 6 months, we won't remember what the fuss was about.
This is the third time in 4 weeks.
It's throwing up more problems than I expected. We're almost on top of it.
About time.
There's a lot involved. We're asking a lot more of them on the line.
I thought you had this all planned out.
I do. The problem is, I'm telling everyone all these changes are for the good of the company. Keep us on top, all that. But I'm getting absolutely no support from you. I've asked you to come to a couple of meetings, but you're always too busy.
I can't run production for you. That's your job.
I'm not asking you to run it. I'm just asking you to show some public commitment to the project, that's all.
All right. But it still doesn't change the situation. You're the manager, and it's your responsibility to make it work.
It will work. I just need you to come into the plant with me now and talk to some of the ops. It will be a start.
Graham, this is Errol Malcolm.
Still been going.
Would you like me to show you around?
Yes, certainly. Thank you very much.
I thought he was nailed behind that desk.
No, he can move. That's good. He's showing he's interested.
But you feel you're on your own, don't you?
Oh, I don't know. The whole thing keeps lurching from crisis to crisis. It gets so you just can't think straight.
Get somebody in. Get somebody in from outside.
A consultant. That is all I need. A 60-page report.
That's not what I mean. You need somebody who can see what your problems are without getting involved.
Kind of oil the wheels.
Yeah. Someone who's got nothing to do with the project itself. Can ask the right sort of questions. Help you all see the wood for the trees. Oh.
Why not? You're here. You've got the skills. May?
All right. But it may not be enough.
I don't really know what this is all about. If May's here...
I just asked May if she would mind sitting in on the meeting, so we had someone who could look at things with a fresh pair of eyes.
But we're the ones who understand what's going on. No offence to you.
No, you're right. Perhaps you could fill me in. What do you see as the problem?
The problem is we're trying to do too much. It's all very well the boss saying we've got to be flexible to be competitive, but it's a mess. Instead of concentrating on production, we're trying to do all sorts of other things as well. It's a mess.
And are all the ships having the same problems?
No. It's just ours.
It's all the shit.
Yes, but no one's as bad as us, are they, Frank?
What's making the difference?
Well, it's all the time we're wasting. It's not that we don't know what we're doing.
So
or why
how's
we're
that
doing
different
it,
from the other shifts, then?
I don't know.
What about the rest of you?
Well, Jim and we split it up. Do half each. He does the big half, I do the wee half.
Yeah, but the point is, even the most organised shifts are still wasting a lot of time because we're trying to do other people's work.
No, Sean's right. Why don't we try splitting the shifts up into smaller groups? Well, that would speed things up.
Great, so everything's in more of a mess than it is now.
I'm not sure I understand what the alternative is that you'd suggest, Frank.
The alternative is that we go back to doing things the way we did before. There was nothing wrong with that.
And does everyone feel that way?
No. I think we should stick with it. And like the boss says, the company's depending on us.
I think we've got to do it. I mean, it's the same everywhere, isn't it?
Except we're still not getting paid properly for all this extra work.
You see, it isn't going to work.
Is that what you mean, Sean? You don't think it's going to work?
No, I think it'll work. I just want paid properly.
Well, that's one thing we can look at.
Can I just be clear about where we've got to so far?
Thanks. It was very helpful having you there.
It's a start. You may need more expert help.
What do you mean?
Well, if you follow Errol's line of thinking, what he's really talking about is team working. They're going to have to learn how to do that.
It never ends. As soon as you think you're on top of one change, you've got to do it all over again with another.
Except you're not really on top of this one yet, are you?
Yes, I know.
Peter, every single suggestion anyone made, he complained, he made fun of it, he got angry. You're going to have to decide what to do about him.
You're saying I've got to go?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying things change. And we all have to change with them. Or nothing. I'm not threatening you, Frank. I'm just saying you have a choice. Either you try and make this work, or you have to find something else for you.
Stores? Canteen supervisor?
I'm sorry. I know it's tough. There's no rush. Just think about it, and then tell me what you want to do. And if you do want something different, I'm sure we can find something that's right for you.
Things don't stand still, are they?
They're having to work in a different way. I think that's a big change.
Did it before. We can do it again.
Better than being laid off. I think it'll work. I just want paid properly.
I think we should stick with it.
Don't know where that leaves me.
The main aim of this course is to help you manage change smoothly within your organisation or department. It concentrates on the kind of change which strikes at the heart of an organisation and affects all or most of its members. The course is built upon 4 main teaching objectives. Identifying the different types of change which occur in an organisation, helping you to understand the nature and process of change, identifying the different roles that people play in implementing change, and lastly, illustrating the different skills required to make change happen smoothly. Change can be categorized under 6 headings, and each type of change will involve different degrees of skill to manage them smoothly. Project change relates to things like the new effluent monitor seen in the video, or new office furniture, for example. Although often modest in scope, a new project still demands a range of management skills. Procedural change is what happened in the video as a result of the installation of the new monitor. It mainly involves changing the way people do their jobs and has substantial knock-on effects. Changing structures involves reorganizing tasks within an organization, which can affect job content and reporting systems. Strategic change normally occurs if entering or leaving a business area or market, and includes changing the ways in which an organization achieves its goals. And of course, goals are what the organization is about, its raison d'etre. Change these and you change the expectations and roles of everyone. Finally, cultural change is the most complex of all and involves the greatest upheaval. Here you are changing the way in which people think about and conduct their work. In the real world, change rarely fits under one heading. It may start off as a project, but then evolve to include other types, as in the video. And because defining the type of change up front is often difficult, what it is and what its implications are can only be discovered as a result of rigorous and continuing analysis. Once the type of change is identified, the key to managing it is by building commitment from a shared understanding of direction and purpose. To achieve that, approach the whole process of change in a structured way. Begin with planning, even when change is only at the concept stage. Articulate the vision and show that it is shared by influential opinion formers. From the outset, set expectations, anticipate reactions, and plan to overcome resistance by harnessing widespread support. Initiate the process, making sure that you have taken all of the possible emotional responses of groups and individuals into account. Motivate and energize people through consultation and involvement, and keep people fully informed. Implement the change. Something that can take days, months, or years. Expect things to go less than smoothly. Be prepared for temporary drops in performance, but counter them with both training and ongoing support. And finally, complete the change. The stage when change is no longer new, but routine. Reward where reward is due. Review the whole process, learn lessons for the future, and make sure that the change sticks. Throughout the change process, it's important to identify what part you play in it. In the video, Graham, the general manager, acted as the sponsor, providing the impetus for change. A sponsor's role is to support change, and may or may not include defining how change should be achieved. The most important role in the video, and the toughest, was that of Peter, the production manager. As leader of the change, he had to develop, communicate, and build commitment to a vision, and make change happen. Far from being passive, followers play an active part in change. In the video, their cooperation and support was essential. And in most organizations, a whole raft of people, from management to shop floor, are followers. And in turn, they have followers too, all of whom must be brought into the change process. To manage change successfully involves a range of management and emotional skills, plus endless patience. You must be able to articulate the vision in ways that generate support and enthusiasm. You must take account of people's expectations and fears. You must be able to plan well in advance and be flexible enough to change those plans when the unforeseen occurs. In fact, you must be a combination of guru and visionary, dynamic leader and agony aunt, coach and captain. And if you can develop all those skills, then you can manage change so smoothly that everyone else will think it's easy. This course is about helping you to understand the process of change and providing you with a few landmarks by which you can gain a clearer view of events. In this section, we'll be exploring the factors that can make change difficult for people. But why do people resist change? Let's look at some typical reactions and explore what you can do to smooth things along. Trying to track down the weekly shopping, you realise that your local supermarket has reorganised the goods on the shelves. What is your likely reaction? The Customer Services Department at Buzz Enterprises was trying to improve response times. Phone operators were finding it hard to cope with demand at peak times. So they decided to introduce a computer system to track and follow up inquiries on the spot. But then some operators complained that with customers on the end of the line, they felt stupid making mistakes. What would be the best way for Buzz Enterprises to handle this resistance? Traffic was regularly coming to a standstill in a busy part of a town centre. It was obvious that something must be done. The council decided to consult local businesses, taxi drivers and residents. What difference would this make to the problem? Social Services have decided to relocate some functions to a new purpose-built office at a greenfield site on the edge of town. Although they have long outgrown the space in the existing building and have frequently complained about the cramped conditions, some people are now saying they would prefer to stay where they are, and the move is generally being seen as a change for the worse. What would be the best way to encourage a more positive attitude to the move? With increasing overheads and decreasing trade, the owner of a waitress service cafe has decided to change over to a self-service snack and sandwich bar. The waitresses have been with the cafe for years, but there will be no room for them in the new style outlet. Sometimes, change within an organisation can bring about changes in status or loss of jobs. The waitresses here are going to lose their jobs. What's the best way to let them know? Kevin had been one of the prime movers behind the idea of contracting out the security service for his company. But his enthusiasm for supervising the project seemed to have disappeared. When problems occurred, he blamed them on the attitude of contract staff and didn't seem interested in finding solutions. When his manager asked Kevin how things were going with the new baby at home, Kevin replied that it was none of his business. Is Kevin's home life relevant to what is happening with the new security service? An important part of managing any change is appreciating the underlying reasons for resistance and negative responses. Recognizing these will enable you to anticipate problems and promote smooth change whenever your organization requires it.